so I'm live. I have not done this in a while. I'm going to be doing one live stream, minimum a month, but definitely one a month. I know that I can definitely do. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So we're starting with this one today, and I thought, why not, seeing as I'm uploading daily, just change it up a bit so it doesn't get boring and too monotone on this channel. Now, you'll have to excuse me today because my hay fever is affecting me. Okay, she's really flaring up right now, and yeah, so you'll have to excuse that if I'm like rubbing my eye or I look like I'm crying. I probably am. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a collective Q&A. So, hi ladies, welcome. Hi, Miss Pink and Black. Hi. Well, good afternoon for me here. It's 4:45 here. But good morning to you. So, we're going to be doing a collective Q&A. I have a few questions written down that I'm going to get into. So let's just get into it. Before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. I am uploading daily for the month of June. After that, I don't know what my schedule will be like, but it's definitely not going to slip back into me going MIA. So you don't have to worry about that at all. My posting will not be every day, but it will be minimum 3 times a week. Okay, so you don't have to worry about me running off anymore. I have a new lease of life. Hi ladies. Right, let's get into this. So the first question we're going to be getting into is, I don't have the names of these ladies who gave me these questions, by the way, but let's just get into this. So I'd love to see a video on how to stay in a positive, bubbly and fun mindset, or at least project it even if you're in a bad mood. Now, this for me, they're all very different, by the way, these questions. Some of them will resonate with you, some of them might not, but the thing with this is how to stay in a positive, bubbly mindset when you're in a bad mood. I believe that we are all in control of ourselves. We're all in control of ourselves. Apart from sometimes you may have like a burst of rage. Okay. I've had this twice. Okay. But I mean, for the most part, and how I am majority of the time, even if I'm in a bad mood, I think the best way to actually be is to not take it out on other people. Okay, it has to be extreme circumstances for me personally to be like taking my mood out on someone or to be really angry. Like, it takes a lot for me to actually get there. And in terms of just like being in a bad mood, I'm not going to give somebody else the brunt of that, because they just don't need it. Okay, so the way I like to think is that you have to be an adult and you have to know that you have control over yourself. Okay, over yourself, over your actions, over your feelings, over what you do and what you do to other people. You have control over that, and you just have to remember that. And instead of like giving someone a horrible look, just don't. Instead of saying something mean, just don't. I think it's literally that simple. Sometimes we can do things like silent treatment. This is my own problems coming out, or like old things, but I absolutely used to hate when my mum would do that to me. You know, like when you're younger, you don't know what's happened and all of a sudden she's giving you the silent treatment. And I used to think it's so immature, and I still do. So that kind of thing is just immature. It's unnecessary. You're in a bad mood. Watch something funny. Try to pick yourself up. Try to laugh. Watch, I don't know, if you have like a baby in the family, watch a little video of them to make you laugh and get you out of that funk that you're in, because it's not good for you. It's not good for your mentality. It's not good for your health. it's just not good, and it's not good for anybody else. So just remember that you have control over yourself and your mood ultimately. Okay, so next question is, since you're in a relationship now, would, so I can't even read my own writing. would would love to, oh sorry, would love to have a video talking about how to bring up the financial part of the relationship and being taken care of. Well, yes. So, I mean, every situation is going to be different, right? Every situation is going to be different. All of us have different personalities. The way that I may bring something up is going to be totally different to the way that you might do it, you know? I am a person who is a bit more serious, and so the way that I might word something might be in a more serious way than the way you might do it, okay? Maybe you're somebody who's more indirect, whereas I am more direct, I would say. So it's about the situation, the scenario, who you're speaking with, and who you are as well, because it has to go with your own personality and your own character. But for me, bringing up like a financial situation and, look, you know, this is what I need help with monthly. Would you be able to do that? Blah, blah, blah. I think it's literally just about sitting down with that person and saying, look, I need to talk to you. This is something that I want from you. This is something that I would really appreciate as well, and it would be very helpful for me, blah, 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 blah. This is the amount that I would want. Or actually, I wouldn't even say that yet, but I would say, are you, what are you saying, basically? And then it's for him to say, okay, yes or no, and how much and whatnot. So I think it's just more about like it doesn't have to be this big, like, I think maybe the novelty's just worn off for me with that a little bit, but it doesn't have to be this big, okay, what am I going to wear to ask him? Okay, I'm going to do it on this night. Okay, all right. Do I look perfect? Okay, then I can ask him. Okay, I need to scoot over and go really close to him and then I can ask him. Or, like, it doesn't even have to be any of that. It's literally just, look, baby, this is something I really need help with right now, and would you be able to do that? Like, it's literally that simple for me. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no, and it's totally up to them. They have autonomy and it's up to them. You know, it's not something they have to do. It's something that if a man wants to do that for you, it's very nice. And also, it's nice for him that you want him to be that person who's literally looking after you. So I think it's a nice thing all round for both parties, and it gives that man more of a sense of purpose. He's working to support not only himself but you also. And if this man has his mind in the right place, he will realize that it's actually a positive thing, and it's boosting him to be even better, more determined, work even harder, and he has something more to work for now. And for you, it gives you more of a reason to be able to be happier with him, because you don't have financial worries, and you can even kind of relay that to him that, look, it'll just take the burden off of me, baby, and that's something I need right now. Like, can you commit to this, doing this for me every month? Can you commit to that? And just ask him outright. But everybody's going to be different how everyone does it. Okay. You're on Mummy G. Aw, that's cute. Yes, it's going to be saved. Hi, ladies. So, I mean, I have my ebook. I definitely go into that, but this is as a relationship. When it comes to you, just let's say somebody you're dating, you're not taking that person seriously. You know he isn't taking you seriously. You know he's probably taking off his ring just before he comes into the venue to have dinner with you, and then he puts his ring back on. You know, you just don't know what some people are up to, and sometimes you know when it just isn't that serious, right? So in that circumstance, you might have to be a little bit different because they are in that situation really to fully benefit themselves. And when I say that, I mean that they're going to be expecting something of you. And in that case, you don't need to do anything with anybody. So I'm not even going there. It's not even about that. And I don't recommend that women are even I don't recommend any of that, okay? We're speaking about going to dinner, going to the theatre, and getting your rent paid, etc. Right, let's speak about that aspect. Then it's more so about, yes, you're going to have to think about being a bit more flirty when you're asking, okay? Being a bit more flirty in that conversation, building things up so he knows what there is to expect and to look forward to, and that you're really bubbly, you're fun, and you're up for adventure and blah blah blah. He needs to kind of see that in that date, and then you can bring something up. But that's for that less serious situation. But in terms of like a relationship where this person actually cares about you and he sees a future with you, baby, would you be able to do this for me? Okay, so it's that simple. It's that simple. Okay, next question is what's your take on the man you're seeing reaching out daily, like texting and calling? Well, if a man, hey kitty cat, if a man is not texting and calling every day, he can stay away, basically. If he isn't texting and calling daily, for me, that just screams that, okay, you're not interested. You have clearly like another family or something is going on where you don't have that time emotionally to kind of share. There are lots of men who they do want that interaction from you. If you're the woman in their life who they really care about, they really want that interaction. They want to check in on you. They want X, Y, and Z. So if they're not reaching out daily, it tells me that, okay, they're not really interested, and because actions speak louder than words. If they are reaching out every day, it shows that, okay, he's interested in me, but then you still have to look at why, okay? And you still have to look further into it. He's reaching out to me every day. Okay, fair enough. That's good. That's what he should be doing. And that's what you should actually expect. So if somebody is reaching out every day, it's a good sign because it shows that they're interested. But you have to look at initially, what are they interested in? Is it just your body, or is it you plus your body? Because that's going to be in there somewhere. We already know. So you've got to still read into things regardless of whether they're reaching out daily or not. And also, literally a red flag is when somebody is solely texting you daily and they're not actually calling. That's actually very bizarre because they want to hear your voice, they want to do X, Y, and Z. Even if you're doing voice notes, they still want to call you. When they're really interested, really into you, really smitten, he is picking up the phone and speaking to his woman. Just so you know, that's what they're doing, right? So depending on the pursuit, okay, and the intensity of it, it really helps you to understand where you stand with that person, and it lets you know that. So my take on the man you're seeing reaching out daily is that it's what should be expected. And if he is solely texting daily and not calling, something's going on. And it's up to you whether you're bothered with that something or not. I don't think you need to be bothered about it. I just think you need to not put all of your eggs in his basket. Would you be willing to make a video about, next question, would you be willing to make a video about maintaining the mystery while in a committed relationship? I am struggling with that. I think that you have to have your own life. You have to have your own hobbies. One thing for me is like when you put somebody as a priority, you're happy to like, hi ladies, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you like my fit. Yes, you called alive. Thank you for being in here. Oh, I'm wearing a satin like midi skirt. So when you're in a relationship with someone, it's really important that, of course, you're sort of prioritizing them in your mind, right? You kind of are. Like, they're more important than some random person in the street, or they're more important than somebody who you might meet, you know, tomorrow. They're more important than that person because they're solidly in your life. Even if it's not marriage or engagement, they're still in your life, and they are speaking with you daily. You share experiences, you know, time spent talking on the phone, spending time together, you know, la la la, right? So there's time spent there which makes that person, you know, a priority in life, and vice versa. Whether it's a high priority or not, that's up to you, but they're somewhat of a priority if you're in a relationship with them. So if you get to the point where you are keeping them as a priority and you're prioritizing them so much that they never are on their toes, then that's a problem. I've mentioned this in, I think it was my last video, that I'm the kind of person who I don't know why I do this, but I always pull back from people. I can like really get into it, really get into them, and then I just pull back and I just get less interested. I don't want to talk as much. I don't want to be on the phone as much. I like if they send me a message, I'll wait a few hours before I respond. I just get really strange. And I actually do think that it's a good thing that I do that because it does keep an element of mystery and it allows you to still be enigmatic, and you're not constantly like they send you a message within 5 minutes you've already responded. Like, you've got to chill out, and that person doesn't need a response straight away. They just don't need it. Even if they are kind of a priority, I'm sure sometimes you left your mum, like she sent you a message, you've waited an hour to get back to her. So he can wait. If you've left your mum to wait, he can, okay? He's fine to wait a few hours and you can get back to him at that point. Because otherwise, they get too, you're making them too much of a priority in your life. And they are somewhat of a priority, but you have to not lose yourself. And sometimes when you are in a relationship, you do speak to that person so frequently throughout the day, or you're living together, or partly or fully, whatever it is. If they're out to work and they send you a message, you don't have to respond instantaneously. And that's the point. You have to have some kind of separation. They don't need to know everything you're doing. They don't even care about knowing everything that you're doing. When you start opening up to men and you start sharing things with them, I've experienced this. They say, I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything. I'm interested. When you actually tell them everything, they get offended with some of the things that you've said because they can't process it. It's too much. You've told them too much. So what they think they want, they don't, right? So he's messaging you, he wants to speak to you all the time, but if you were speaking to him all the time and at his beck and call, he would be fed up with it. So do him a favor and yourself a favor as well, and just pull back a bit. Just do it. I think that they need the distance. They really need it, and so do you, just to make sure, you know what women can get like, just to make sure you don't get too head over heels. I think it's the smarter way to do things, right? I love color of manicure. Thank you very much. Yes, I do always wear red. I sometimes I don't like I did French manicure like a couple of weeks ago, but I think that red is just the nicest thing to do. When you go from wearing red all the time and then you go to something else, it just looks so bland and boring. And yeah, so I love red. I love red. I love it. One of my aunties, she always wears red. Always, always on hands and feet. Always. She's done it like my entire life. And it always looks lovely, always looks classy, always looks great. And yeah. So that's what I would say in terms of like maintaining mystery. Um, like Another thing is, of course, something that this might be a bit weird to say, but I'm going to speak about it anyway. Things like having, like, I'm the kind of person, I'm very open with, let's say I'm going to the toilet, I'm doing a number one. I'm totally fine with like having the door open, the person even being in the room, in the bathroom. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I don't have a problem with that, and vice versa. But you have to have a level where things are shut off, and you have to maintain kind of mystery in that sense. Okay, they don't need to hear you pass wind. Like, they don't need to hear it. They don't need to hear it. They just don't need to hear it. Certain things I think you have to kind of just pull back even in that regard as well. Okay, so at bodily functions, some of those things need to be done like in private. I just think that there's a level of mystery that sometimes, and like romanticism, that can go out of the window when you're like solidly in a relationship. You get way too comfortable with someone, and I just don't think we can get way too comfortable with these men. I just don't. Okay. Or even if, you know, you're bi, you're dating, you know, a woman, or more of like a masculine woman, it's still the same thing still applies. You just cannot get too comfortable with them. And I think that there has to be a shut off point where you do keep lots of your mystery. Um, Even with things like opening up about big things that have happened in your life. Even for me, with the person I'm with, I've opened up about one big thing that has happened. I have had lots. Most of the things that happen or have happened in my life, I actually keep to myself. So it's about not feeling the need to like share with like overshare with people as well. You don't know how long you'll be together, and also you have to kind of respect the fact that you don't know where things will be in a year from now, right? And you want to make sure that you have maintained, you have kept some of your things to yourself. You don't have to give everything away right away just because you met them right now. You know, they can find out something about you in 5 years' time. Wait around and see. You know, if you're really that interested, wait around and I will disclose more. But getting rid of the need to kind of share everything, the need to be so comfortable around someone where you're like, maybe, I don't know, just, I mean, there are certain things that I would recommend that you just don't do, like burping and just different things. Just try to chill out with all of that. Try to have that mystery so you can still full on have that sex appeal. As women, I know that we know there are normal bodily functions, whatever, and we don't care when men do it, but for us, we have to keep that level of mystery even in that respect. Okay, so I'm speaking about with various like in lots of different ways to keep your mystery, and I think that they're all important. So all right, let's move on. Let's move on. I have 3 more questions, and then we'll just do like a little live portion. Like, I'll go through the questions. How do you handle it when you are intimate with someone? I'm so scared my hair would slip if I wore a wig. Now, she killed me with this. So, I mean, if let's say you are wearing a wig, as long as you have the clips in, this man needs to understand, like, just don't even tug it. And even if it has been tugged, you need to make sure your stuff is secure enough that it's not sliding off when it's tugged. Okay, so make sure you got your stuff on, it's sitting tight, and you could even like extra tighten it beforehand or whatever you want to do. Sometimes you might have your wig on. Okay, you might have your wig on. And yeah, I mean, yeah, just make sure that you've secured it. I also think we need to like get rid of the stigma behind wearing wigs. I'm very open about, I mean, you can tell I'm wearing a wig and I don't even care. If I really cared so much, I would just have a sew-in with leave out, and that's all I would, like, I don't really care if anyone knows if I'm wearing a wig, for me, to be honest. But I'm very open about wearing wigs, and even if, let's say you're on a date with someone and he keeps touching it, keeps on like touching your hair, be like, baby, can you like just stop touching my wig, please? Like, seriously. And just like make it cute, so he knows, okay, you're wearing a wig, let me be careful, stop trying to put my fingers all the way through that, and leave her be. Okay, so for me, I think that we can be a bit more open about these things. I don't take this too seriously, and like, I would even make jokes like, oh my god, I don't want the wind to blow too hard, or like I don't want my wig to come off, or I don't know, just like small things. Like, I just, for me, it's not that serious. Okay, but if you're in the bedroom and that slides off, that's a crime. So make sure you have her on and stop playing with me. Okay. Yeah, but don't feel nervous wearing a wig, you know. Don't feel nervous wearing a wig. If you are super nervous, then you can just wear your own hair. You don't have to wear wigs all the time. But of course, it's going to give you more of that glam look. And if like the mood is right, it's giving lingerie, it's giving heels, it's giving glamorous hair, it's giving all of that, then yeah, you might want to wear your wig. Okay, so just make sure it's secured. And you'll be good. You'll be good. Put the little clips in at the sides. So, second from last, how to not be disappointed when you have your hopes up and continuously let down. It's hard to stay motivated sometimes. Yes. Oh, someone said she should get a sew-in or crochet. Yes, I'm glad I popped up for you. It's nice to have you back, girly. It's nice to have you back. Okay, so how to not be disappointed when you have your hopes up and continuously let down. You remember that it's not going to last forever, and we've all been very down. Like, we've all been down, and then you get past it, and then something happens in life, you get down again, you get past it, and you have to learn. Kind of goes back to what I mentioned, I think it was the first point, yeah, about like staying positive and not projecting it on others. You have to remember that you're a grown up. You have to take control over your own happiness, and you have to say, right, I feel let down. Okay, how can I decrease my sadness right now? How can I decrease my disappointment? How can I do that? How can I do that in this moment? How can I make myself feel better? And the first thing I'm going to say is for you to have some escapism by watching something funny. Go on Netflix, watch an Adam Sandler film, or whatever it is that makes you laugh. Go ahead and watch something funny, or watch something lovely, heartwarming. Like, for me, I would maybe watch some videos of my nephew, or video call him, or want to be around him. So it kind of makes you feel better in that moment. Or be with my cat, you know, it makes you feel better, and it takes you out of your sadness and puts you back with your feet on the ground for that moment. Okay, you also have to like be patient with yourself, not be hard on yourself. Just say to yourself, look, I'm upset, I'm disappointed. But that's all it is. It's disappointment. It's disappointment. It's disappointment because somebody else, has let me down. Somebody else has let me down. So I feel disappointed, but my world isn't going to crumble into 1,000 pieces because some idiot person disappointed me, because they let themselves down and it let me down. They can't even stick to their word or do what they said. When you really think about it, you're never really disappointed, right? Because if anything, it's like the silver lining, if that makes sense, because there's a blessing in there in disguise, because then you can say, okay, this person is a disappointment to me. They are a letdown. They are continuously disappointing me. This person is a loser. And I don't want that energy in my life. So it actually opens your eyes, and it's literally a blessing in disguise, because there are other people who will not be disappointments to you. There are other people who won't continuously let you down. Okay, it's not everybody who does that. So I think that we have to sometimes see that it is a positive, and we wouldn't really want to have that person around us anymore anyway. So you're disappointed. What else is out there? Okay, and definitely just try to pick yourself up in the moment. I feel like a news a journalist right now. Hi Cassie, love your growth. It's beautiful and powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nice to see you in here, girl. Okay, last question, and then I will go to the comments and see what I've missed. Could you do a video on your experience going to charity events, where to find them, how you overcome anxiety going solo? Okay, so if you have that kind of incongruous feeling, right, where you're essentially nervous, you're anxious to go somewhere that you maybe haven't been to before, or somewhere that you just feel nervous about going to, then you kind of have to this might sound like, oh, come on, you're stating the obvious here, but you have to just relax a bit. You literally just have to relax. You're going to a fun event. Everybody's going there to have a nice time. You get to dress up, have nice food, see entertainment. Charity is also taking place to help other people or other organizations, animal, whatever charity event is for. It's a fabulous cause. It's going to be in a fantastic venue. I am going to have the best time. That needs to be your mindset, instead of feeling anxious about going solo, blah, 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 blah. You're going to a charity event. It's so exciting. It's so fun. Honestly, charity events are just the best. You have the best time. You have a boogie on the dance floor, prizes to be won, auctions. It's so much fun. Excellent food, excellent service. You're around great people. You can meet people who, you wouldn't necessarily just meet on the street, or, you're having conversations with other people on your table who, you might really get on with. You might really hit it off with them. You might make friends. You might just have a nice night socializing. You might meet someone in terms of a romantic connection. There are so many things that can happen. You're also boosting your own confidence, because you're going to a high class, fun event by yourself. Not everybody can do that. And when I have mentioned that, okay, I'm going to events, and I've mentioned, I'm going to a charity dinner, I'm going by myself, blah, 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 people are always like, wow, wow, wow. I could never do that, or I would never have the guts to do that, or I wouldn't even think to go by myself. This is what people, even in my real life, not just online, but they literally say to me. And For me, it's really not that serious. The first charity event I went to, this did actually help me though. The first charity event I went to, no, the first two charity events I went to, I was somebody's date. This really helped me to understand how charity events work, to look on the board to see, my table, and so I know which table to go over to. It let me know about champagne receptions and just the structure of charity events, so I knew what to expect. It really helped me to know that, actually. So I think that reduced my anxiety going alone. But that being said, when I went to one of the charity dinners that I went to last summer, I did feel some angst, actually, and I was like, I am going by myself. Is anybody else, like, am I just going to stick out like a sore thumb? And I did stick out. I was the only person there alone. But it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't a big deal. I like I had a great table. Well, two people were questionable. Okay, two people were questionable, but I had a good table, great conversation. I loved the women I was sitting next to. Games, dinner, like it was just great. You don't run out of things to speak about. At charity dinners, you're speaking to more like cultured people who know they're good conversationalists. There's always something to talk about, even if it's just talking about the food, the plate that's in front of you, speaking about the service, speaking about other charity events. There's always something to talk about. Always, 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 always. And there's not really a dull moment. Something else I want to speak about is the dance floor. Because when you get on the dance floor and you don't have a group of friends, you don't know anybody, and it's time to dance, you don't have to do it, but I will, because I'm not going to miss out the opportunity to have a little boogie. Put your bag down on your chair or wherever and get out on the dance floor and just have fun. This is your time to challenge yourself that, okay, you are literally a bad bitch who can go anywhere she wants, whenever she wants, by herself, have a good time, stand out, look incredible, feel great, and literally be the best dancer on the dance floor. You've got to just give that to yourself. Let that be your challenge. Have a great time, have a great night, have fun, and just know that nobody is judging you. And if they are, then who are they? Who are they again? Who are they? When you leave that event, you will never see that person again. So who are they? How do they matter? They don't. The last one I went to, the Grand Prix ball, I remember I was on the dance floor. I had a couple of women who were looking at me. I don't know if they were laughing or it looked a little bit catty. I don't know. I just smiled at them. I just smiled. And then it kind of reduced the tension, I think. You know what it's like sometimes with women. And it was fine. And I just didn't care. I was having a good time. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. You've paid to go to this event. You better make the most of it. Make the most of it. Especially that Grand Prix event. I think it was £650 I paid altogether. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time. Okay? Just pretend you're in a movie. Literally. Yeah, this is the best mindset to have, because you don't need to have any fears. You just don't. Get out there, live your life. And most people, when they're looking at you, you're on the dance floor, you're by yourself, you don't need anyone around you to have a good time, and they do. They're looking at you thinking, okay, she's really confident, or, I wish I could kind of have that, or they're looking at you, maybe even sometimes kind of admiring you. So yeah, just have fun. But I do want you to understand this about charity dinners, that there is a board and you need to look at that board. So there's a reception dinner, a champagne reception. After the champagne reception, when that's ending and you're going through into the hall or wherever it's been taking place, usually like a members club or a hotel, then you have to look at the board that tells you which table you are sitting on, and then you go and find that number table, the table number. That's about, that's like the only thing you need to know. How to find charity events, you just go on Google and literally type in charity events London. Or if there's a specific month that you want to go, then type that in as well. There might be specific organizations you want to support. So type that in, or whatever. So that's how to look for them, literally just on Google. And I would just choose whatever I like the look of, whatever I think is in a fantastic venue and I just really want to go. That's how I would find them. And that's also how I would overcome my anxiety going solo, which is just understanding that I can go wherever I want, whenever I want. Everyone else has to deal with it. But no, you'll have a great time. You'll have a great time. You'll have fun. I want you ladies to go to charity dinners. I think you will literally have a ball at the ball. Literally. Okay. What's this? Why men look at me and stare but don't approach? Also, do they really want to approach on the street, or are they just looking? There can be various, like I've done videos on this. There can be various reasons why somebody is just looking and not approaching. Most of the time they're going to be married, okay? Most of the time they're married and they're not really about that life. They have eyeballs because they can still use them, but they're married, okay? And lots of men don't want to get into something else. If they are still happily married, then they're still happily married, right? And they're just looking. But there are also other men who are looking because they like the look of you, but they know that they don't have what it takes to make a woman like you happy, so they're going to look and leave you alone. Okay? So there are various reasons. Maybe you look cute but not cute enough, or maybe you remind them of somebody, or maybe this, maybe that. Maybe he just choked a bit and didn't feel like he had the guts or the balls to come over to you. There can be so many reasons why it's not happening. Men do still approach on the street. They do still do that. And like I kind of mentioned in yesterday's video, that when you're dealing with certain men who, think highly of themselves, have self-respect, are more selective with the women who they date, they're less likely to just go over to anybody. Any woman is not up for grabs. Like, it's not that life. But when it comes down to other men who have less self-respect, less respectful women, they will just go up to anything. So remember that it's actually a good thing when people are looking at you and not always approaching, because it's just showing that, okay, I'm on a different level. If you're never getting approached, like, ever in your life, then that might become a jar, okay, because you want to get approached, right? But maybe look at your facial expression. Like, do you not look very happy? Do you seem nervous? Do you need to up the ante with what you're wearing a little bit more? Are you looking too desperate? Are you making too much eye contact? Do you need to just mind your business and just allow them to come over? Like, play about with different things and just see what happens. See if it alters what's going on for you. Ziva, How do you not look awkward when you first walk into a bustling bar and there's no seat available? Um, like for me, remember I'm 5'1" and sometimes I don't even want to sit down because sometimes the bar stools are really high and I get nervous with if I can get on them and if it's going to be like embarrassing to get on them. So sometimes I don't even want to actually sit down. Um, for me, and then getting down, and you got a lot to think about, right? But for me, I wouldn't really care. Okay. When I first started going to like bars by myself, I was nervous. I remember feeling so scared. I remember even one time I called my mum up before I went in and I was like, I don't think I can go in. I'm so nervous. So I told her, I want to meet someone, I want to go out to bars, and she was like, just go in. Just go in. Go to the bar. If you don't like the atmosphere, just walk out. And I said, okay. And I remembered that, yeah, if I go in somewhere, I don't want to be there, I just leave. And it's that simple. If you walk in and you want it to be busy as well, though, kind of, because more people, you should actually it's better because you have more chance of meeting someone, and also there isn't so much focus on you because there are so many people, so many things happening, but at the same time you've just got to kind of it's kind of like that event energy, like I mentioned. you can you've got to lose that angst about being seen, being noticed, being watched. You're a woman. You're going to be seen, you're going to be noticed, you're going to be watched. That comes with the territory. So you've got to get past that and then just realize, okay, I'm going to be seen, I'm walking into a busy bar. Do I want to walk into a busy bar looking good or not looking good? Looking confident or not looking confident? So back straight, do your cute walk, get in there, head held high, and just get over there and do what you need to do. Get over there and do what you need to do. Of course, don't be nervous about the seat thing. You're going to go in, have a look for a seat. If there isn't one, it's fine. That's probably even better. If there's somebody who you like the look of, then go over and stand next to them, and that's where you're going to order your drink. So sometimes it actually is better if you don't have a seat because you can stand next to the person who maybe you want to, kind of, you wouldn't mind speaking to, or you wouldn't mind him speaking to you. On TikTok, they said red is for old ladies. I agree. I think that red is for old ladies. I mean, I've been red. Well, not that it's for old ladies, but I think it's more mature. I think that we all know an elderly lady who has red nails, and like I mentioned before, my great auntie. But I mean, I've been doing red since I was in my 20s. She's still doing red. Yeah. For me, I I think that there is an element of maturity that comes like with red nails. I do. But it's not going to stop me. And I don't care what anyone's saying on TikTok because all I do on TikTok is I go in, my For You page comes on, and you know what I do? I go straight to my profile. I don't watch anything on that thing. Sometimes you get caught up and you might like watch the first thing that comes on, but I'm just, no. Because I don't want to get sucked into anyone's rubbish on there. Ziva, I started watching you in 2019. I'm married now with a baby. Oh, congratulations. I'll always support because your content helped me so much on a much deeper level. You're an earth angel. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is a beautiful thing to say to me, and I I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy for you. I hope your baby is I hope your baby's okay. That's so cute. What did you have, a boy or a girl? Um, Hi Ziva, I love your videos. I want to lighten my dark hair. Have you noticed any difference on how men treat you with your lighter hair or darker hair? Yeah, you ladies need to start watching my videos, and you need to start watching all of them, okay? Like from start to finish, because I did speak about this yesterday. In yesterday's video, I think. Was it yesterday's one before? I can't remember. Yes, there is a difference. And ladies, I'm so sorry about me right now. I'm dealing with my hay fever, my eyes like swollen, and I'm just having and like itchy. I'm having a lot going on. So I apologize about this. But men prefer me with this wig. Long, lighter, definitely. And I remember when I was doing the black hair, I literally switched to this and it was like my world just kind of changed. I definitely get way more attention even with the black hair. Um, I get attention when I do ponytails, but my ponytails are the one that I have right now that I've been wearing. It's darker with like honey blonde highlights. I get attention with that, but this weird wig is, yeah, this is what does it. So the lighter hair, I think it just gets their attention more because it is lighter. I think it's as simple as that. I know there are, of course, lots of men who also like darker features. They like women with darker hair, darker eyes. They do, that can be their type, but they're still going to notice women with lighter hair. Okay, they're still going to notice them all the time because it's a lot more noticeable, especially even like lighter than this. It's going to be more noticeable because it's brighter. So it does kind of catch your eye, and I think that may be the reason for it. Also, I've had compliments that say that it just brightens me up more. My younger sister said that it makes me, she thinks that this looks better on me. And yeah, I think my older sister probably prefers dark hair. She thinks she prefers darker hair anyway. But I think it's subjective. But in terms of men, they prefer this, I think. It get noticed more with this than I did with darker hair. I can definitely see a difference. I think you should try to go lighter. Why not? Just try it out and see how you feel. If you don't want to test it out on your own hair, just put some clip-ins with like highlights. How do you add uniqueness to your fashion while still being attractive? I love cottage core, but I think it comes across Grand Marie. So do you mean like patterns that kind of look like tablecloths and stuff? I think that's what you mean. I'm not too sure what that is. Okay, so if you like that kind of material or like pattern, use that material. Maybe have something made, but get it in something that has some sex appeal to it, you know. Get like a nice summer dress. Think of like, what is it called? What is it called? Think of like ditzy dresses. That's it. Think, and I'm acting ditzy right now. Think of like ditzy dresses, you know, milkmaid dresses, but get it in the fabric that you like or the print that you like. So you're having that uniqueness and you're having that balance as well. I don't know, like if something's unique to you, like your style, then you have to put that spin on it. Like for me, it's always going to be red nails. Not many people are doing this, but I'm doing it because that's my thing. Not many people are doing like always heavy pink makeup, but I'm doing it because that's my thing. Or like, I think that you just still have to kind of think of the things that you like and try to play about with it and see how you can put it in and make it your own personal style. I would say that you should have an element of normality, so things that people are used to seeing, because you don't want to look like an anomaly outside. But at the same time, you don't want to stand out so much and look really different, but at the same time, you want to have your own splash of, uniqueness, like you're saying. Um, for me, I like to wear whatever I like. I like to do whatever I want to do. And I make sure that it's within the realm of being cute, sexy, or sophisticated, sexy. And that is what I go off of. And anything else is up for grabs, basically. So you have to play about with things. Your thing might be the way you do your makeup. Your thing could be the way you overline your lips, or the way that like the accessories that you use. Maybe you always wear chokers, or that could be your thing. So it's going to be different for everyone else, but you've got to find that thing and find a way to incorporate it into what other people will understand as well. Ziva, wait, Ziva went, okay, wait. Ziva, I went on a trip. When they're like missing words, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry, excuse me. So, Ziva, I went on a trip with a potential man. He treated me like a princess, but we are back and he is not communicating because of work. I told him I understand and left me on red. Yeah, so of course you went on a trip because he was trying to, how can I put this politely? I don't know if I really can, but he was trying to get you on your back, and I don't know if it happened, that's why he's had enough, or if it didn't happen and that was his objective, it didn't happen, so he's had enough. He might come back when he wants to try again, who knows, but you might need to go shopping. Maybe you don't have anything to wear on the date and you need, so he's going to have to make up for that. Yeah, like, I don't think we can go on trips with potentials. Like, I don't know how old you are. I don't know how long you've known this person. I don't know, like, any of the ins and outs. I don't know. But let's even if you're in a position where you've gone away with someone, you've come back, and now he's literally ghosted you. Whether it's going to be momentarily ghosting or just permanent, he's ghosted you. If you go away with someone, you need to be solid in knowing that I have no reservations that if I came away from this trip that this person is going to ghost me. So that means you need to have known them for more of a considerable time, and let them understand that, okay, for me to go on this trip, I want, like, we're not that close yet. Like, we're still building our relationship. I need to have my own space. I need my own room. I need this and that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for that. But to now be in a position where this man thinks he can come back and just ignore you, his agenda was clear, or it is clear now anyway. Okay. Hi. That makes sense. Balancing my style with what other people can understand. Ooh. Yeah, if you like the glam hair and makeup, that's really cute. So yeah, you have your little style, even if it is kind of grandma-ish, cinch that waist in with a nice belt and see how that works. If it doesn't look too old and boring, then go for that. and have the glam hair, the makeup. That sounds cute to me. And just see what happens, you know. You might meet a man who's more in the creative field. He isn't going to want someone who necessarily maybe dresses like me. So there are going to be different people who want different things. And we have to also kind of remember that. So, yeah, have to remember that, right? So different people are going to be into different things. Why are you so pretty? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel like my hay fever's ruining that right now though, but nobody ever speaks about hay fever. Nobody speaks about hay fever and how you're still trying to wear your makeup, do what you need to do, and you are struggling. No, why nobody speaks about it? Well, I'm speaking about it today. Yes. Yeah, okay. I will take a screenshot of that. I will do more outfit videos. Definitely, I think shorts. I'm really getting into my shorts right now, and I think that it's a good way for me to put out content as well that just it's so quick to do. I'm really enjoying doing shorts, so yes, I've taken a screenshot of that. Oh, I like that. Stand next to the guy I may be interested in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Worry no more about whether there is a spare seat or not. Is there a spare space next to the man that I'm trying to, you know, get to buy my drink or whatever? Hi, Ziva. Hi, Jennifer. I hope you're well. I think I've asked you this before under one of your videos, but I didn't get a response. Oh, I'm sorry. And it's absolutely fine if you don't want to answer. Do you think all men cheat? I don't think all of them cheat physically, but they're all cheating in their minds, okay? They're all cheating in their minds because they're all, you know, I don't know how to say it on here without being demonetized or something, but they're all, you know, at bedtime when maybe you're not around, there's something that's going on by themselves, okay? So they're cheating on you in that sense because I kind of doubt that they're thinking about you at that time, right? Because it's their chance to like have escapism, think of someone else or whatever. I don't know. But I think in that aspect, they're going to be cheating on you mentally in their minds. But do I think all men cheat physically? No, I don't. I think that most of them can be definitely persuaded to, but I don't think that they all will or all do. No. And remember, like, not all of them are going to cheat physically. Some of them are cheating just emotionally. They're taking off their ring. Like, even the guy who I'm in a relationship with right now, even he mentioned the other day about the number of men he sees in bars who have clearly taken off their ring, and he kind of clocks it. You know, they might have like a tan line or whatever, or he might even see them doing it. And I said this years ago. Married men are out here more than single men. But do I believe that all men cheat? No, I don't. But I think 90% of them can be persuaded to. That's what I think. If there's a man who cannot communicate effectively, he's even more likely to. Okay, and most men cannot communicate effectively. So they're never telling their woman, this is what I need more of. This is what I wish you would wear. This is how I wish you'd look. I wish you'd lose this much weight, or I wish you do this. I wish you do. Like, they're not doing that. I wish you'd stop nagging me. I wish that you would let me be the man around. Like, they're not doing that. They're not communicating to their women, and it creates a void, which they need to be filled. They need it to be filled. And they might try to meet a woman and to fill that void, and they just end up disrespecting their wife and also trying to use a woman who maybe doesn't deserve it. So this is all down to men not being able to communicate effectively for the most part, I believe. And of course, there's an element of wanting to have your cake and eat it too. But I don't believe all of them cheat. No. Hey, Sarah. Hi. Oh, I miss you from you now. Have an amazing day. I miss you too, Jamal. I miss you too. Yes, my YouNow days are just so behind me. I used to have fun on there. Yeah, I literally forget that I even used to do streams on there and stuff. Yeah, that was a cool time. I remember you were in like lots of I think you were in like every stream, always supporting, donating, and I do remember even having like dance challenges. I remember I was doing that on there. Okay. I think my favorite part about your channel is that for those of us who have been around a while, we've grown up and glowed up along with you. Oh, that's cute. That is really cute. I love that. But ladies, I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I've got to deal with this eye. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye. Comment below any other questions you have, and I'll put them into another Q&A.